Let us continue with 2018. Shall we? You want to switch off the AC? Arey, come on. Feels good na to see small short questions. Even if it is tough, छोटे question better होते. क्या है? Increase in absolute and per capita GNP does not connote or do not connote a higher level of income, economic development if what? See, what is this GNP and all? Growth. It does not connote development if what happens? Poverty and unemployment increase, which means they are saying कि GNP कितना भी बढ़ा लो, development नहीं होगी if poverty and unemployment keep on increasing. Are you understanding this? Yes or no? They are saying, they are checking whether you know the debate between growth and development or not. Growth is a quantitative aspect or quantitative concept. Development is a qualitative concept. Are you agreeing to this? See, industrial output fails to keep pace with agricultural output. Doesn't matter na, because your GNP is increasing. Agri increase ho ya industry increase ho, as far as growth is concerned, growth is happening. And how do you define development with only industry? Commercialization of agriculture is also development. So, chhod. Agri output fails to keep pace with industrial output. These two options are absolutely useless. Are you understanding this? Are you getting this? Poverty and unemployment increase. Yes, that is a measure of development. Yes or no? Your growth might be slow, but if people are not poor in your country, then you are a developed country. Why are we considered to be underdeveloped country? Main measure क्या होता है? Poverty line. Yes or no? So underdeveloped कहाँ गया? Does not connote a level of economic development if this higher GNP and higher growth का फायदा is not received by the people. What is the use? है ना? Imports grow faster than exports. Let it grow. Unless it is causing significant currency depreciation on all, but still no link to development directly. ठीक है? Imports always grow faster than exports for a country like India, consuming country like India. Imports grow, we import gold. Diwali आता है, gold import increases. Right? Did you understand why this question? It does not connote a higher level of economic development if poverty and unemployment increase. Next. They really took capital chapter na in this year, in 2018. Capital, human capital and all they are taking now. क्या लगता है? Human capital formation as a concept is better. Human capital means skills and all. ठीक है? Individuals of a country who accumulate more capital. This is monetary capital. Na? This is not human capital. So one gone, one gone, one gone. 2 by default becomes correct. 3 you don't have to worry about. Tangible wealth and more capital is same na? Tangible wealth. तो ये तो गया. Now whether it is intangible wealth also or only knowledge, skills and capacities. क्या लगता है? Intangible wealth is also there. Apart from knowledge, skills and capacities, some reputation, something, anything would be there. ठीक है? So answer is C, 2 and 4. Fairly simple. Now this is a conceptual question. I like this question. This is where magic happens. We have learned opportunity cost also in the very initial lectures. क्या लगता है? What is the answer? What is the answer? Any idea? What is opportunity cost? The cost of pursuing an alternative, the cost of giving up one of the options, right? You have two options, you can do A or you can do B. Let's say you can eat dosa or you can eat pizza. So when you eat dosa, opportunity cost is the benefit or the pleasure you get from eating pizza. If you eat pizza, the opportunity cost is the pleasure you leave or the pleasure you give up if you had eaten dosa. Similarly, whenever anything is given free to the public by the government, who bears the ultimate cost? See, government could have used that money for investment, government could have used that money for other things, consumption, government could have used that money for other development, but it is giving free. ठीक है? So what is the cost? कि we could have used that money, for productive purpose. Whose money it is? Whose money it is? Tax paying public. So who is bearing the cost? My money to the government could have been used for good purposes, but my money to the government is being used for giving free commodities, which means what is the opportunity cost? It is passed from the government to me because ultimately mera hai. These two options, see, if you reach these two options, very good, you are on the right track. If you are confused between these two options, then you need to know what is opportunity cost. That money which was used for giving this commodity for free could have been used for something else. This commodity could have been given at a charge also, 50 रुपया लेके, ठीक है? That is the opportunity cost. What is opportunity cost? Opportunity lost in charging money or using that money for something else. Who is bearing the opportunity? So opportunity cost is zero तो नहीं है, ignore भी नहीं कर रहे हम. Either it is transferred from the consumers of the product, the free जो मैं ले रहे हैं free में, who are paying for that? Government is paying, but ultimately who is government? Tax paying. Government is just a pass-through authority, right? These two, if you reach these two, very good. You know, you are doing very good. ठीक है? Answer is C. Next. Again, this is all newspaper reading based. You have to have some basic understanding. See the second statement. The government does not impose any custom duty on all imported edible oils as a special case. If this happens, na, today BOP will go on a full deficit. We import oil a lot, edible ho, crude ho, we import oil a lot, right? And to discourage imports, what is done? Custom duties are applied. Does not impose any custom duty on all imported edible oils as a special case. There are certain edible oils on which custom duty is not there or given as a waiver. There are, ठीक है? But ये तो गलत है. Extreme statement, red flag statement. Second is gone. Second gone, both gone. A or D. What is A? Quantity of imported edible oils is more than the domestic production of edible oils in the last 5 years. Even if I tell you we import a lot of edible oil, which means first is true. Answer is A1 only. Sir, how do you know all this? How to know all this? Newspapers. ये editorial में आते रहता है कि the problem of balance of payment ऐसा editorial होगा. In that there will be written कि we are importing much more edible oil since the last 10-15 years than we are producing. Answer is A. ठीक है, done? See, I don't want to discuss this. It's a very technical question. It's a very, very, very technical question. If you have no idea about this, I straightforward tell you to leave this question. You have to leave this question. Equalization levy. Equalization levy is nothing but, so services which are provided by Indians to Indians, uspe we have some service tax and something, GST now. Services which are provided by non-resident Indians to resident Indians, we impose an equal tax on that also, that is equalization levy. Okay, I am not going to explain the concept behind this because time jayega, plus this is not a concept class. So you have to ignore this. Basically the answer is D, neither 1 nor 2. It is not a part of the Income Tax Act, right? So what happens in this is, basically I have taught you TDS, tax deducted at source. So non-resident Indian providing some services to Indians, and tomorrow if he doesn't pay tax, then he earns income because he is giving us services. we are using Amazon Prime Video and Netflix, we are paying subscription to them. Tomorrow and they have to pay income tax on that. Tomorrow if they don't pay tax, then what happens? So it is our duty to cut at source. So वो equalization levy है, but let's not get there, it's fine. So you have to, what you have to do is you have to completely ignore this. If you have an idea, if you know it, then very good. If you don't have an idea, please leave this question. ठीक है? It is a very tough question. D, neither. क्या है, क्या लगता है? See, the normal logic of GST is that processed foods involve value addition and GST is a value added tax, right? GST is a tax on value addition. So when you process something, you add value to it. That is the reason why processed foods pe tax hai. So fish, processed and canned, if you remove 3 gone, 3 gone, 1 by default becomes correct. Now 2 and 4 you have to read together because either they come together or they go together. Chicken, eggs cooked and newspaper containing advertising material. Newspaper costs have to be kept minimum. That is why GST is not applied on newspapers, right? And chicken, eggs cooked. Now this, if they are cooked in 5-star, then GST लगेगा. But if they are cooked roadside पे, then GST नहीं लगेगा. But they go together, 2 and 4. So in the spirit of the question, the answer is C, 1, 2 and 4. समझा? Next. चलो simple. GI tag. GI Act है 1999. In order to comply with WTO, straightforward, given in books. WTO is UPSC's favorite topic. So prepare WTO very well. Now in this case, UNCTAD is mentioned, IMF is mentioned, ILO is mentioned. Prepare these also. What reports do they give? Do they give any reports? What is their mandate? Is India a member of all these institutes? Prepare that. Tomorrow question might come on ILO. Very easy question will come, but then we will be confused. This is how you prepare. ठीक है? WTO हो गया. Next. Long questions, na? Big questions. Read it. Read them. See, you should know third statement by default. You should know third statement by default. It is there in Lakshmikant, it is there in polity. You should know third statement by default. If you know third statement, what happens? One only gets eliminated. And this paper is 2018. NK Singh Review Committee had given recommendations. And this review committee report, they are talking about NK Singh Review Committee, 60%, 40, 20. This is very major current affairs. If you don't know this, which means you have not prepared current affairs, right? Because tabhi aaya tha report, you know, the report that came at that time. So you know 1 is there, you know 3 is there, right? 1 is there, 3 is there. This is a tough question. Why? Because despite knowing 2 of them, you are not able to arrive at the answer. Now you have to look at 2. The central government has domestic liabilities of 21% as compared to state government of 49%. Look at statement 1 and statement 2. Are they not contradictory to each other? Statement 1 says that central government has to reduce it to 40%, state government has to reduce it to 20%. Statement 2 says that central government has 21% and state government has 49%. ठीक है? Even if they are speaking about domestic liabilities, even if domestic liabilities की बात करें, it is not the case. ये उल्टा है. Center state का numbers have been flipped. So some reading, some logic, some analysis से you can figure out कि statement 1 and 2 are contradictory. And which of them you know is definitely true? First one. So second is not true. So answer is 1 and 3. C. 2 is not right. C is right. 3 is right. Get it? Current, major static and logic. All 3 are applicable in this question. Otherwise you cannot arrive at the answer. Static नहीं पता, you cannot arrive. Current नहीं पता तो you cannot arrive. Logic, if you gone wrong, then your answer goes wrong. ठीक है? Next. high capital output ratio. What is capital output ratio? The ratio of your input and output. How many hours you give to study one chapter. Today you gave 2 hours to study the chapter, and tomorrow you gave 6 hours to study one chapter, which means you are inefficient tomorrow, right? So despite putting in so much of money, high savings karke, despite pushing in money, capital formation may not result in significant increase in output due to high capital output ratio, which means for 1 unit of output you need high capital. So despite pushing so much of capital, you might get only little bit output. Okay? But if you have a low capital output ratio, means in low capital bhi bahut sara you get. Basically mileage hai, it is like mileage. In low petrol you go for 50 kilometers, and high mileage hoga to super bike or something is there, so what it does, 1 liter it will barely go 5 kilometers, right? It's like mileage. So high capital output ratio is like highly inefficient hai wo. Okay? So economy requires much more capital to run. Bike requires much more petrol to run. So it is inefficient. Clear? High capital output. Is this clear? D. See this easy question. Again from markets, money markets. Easy है. क्या है question? RBI manages and services Government of India securities, but not any state government. RBI is the banker to whom? RBI is the banker to whom? Both center and states. So first statement is absolutely wrong. When one goes, what happens? When one goes, what happens? 3 automatically becomes correct. Treasury bills offer are issued at discount from the par value. Yes or no? Treasury bills are issued at a discount from par value. They are zero coupon in nature. That by default becomes correct. What about second? Treasury bills are issued by Government of India and there are no treasury bills issued by state governments. Yes, this is true. See, even if there is an extreme statement, no, but this is definitely true. If you know 2 and you don't know anything else, what happens? 2 gone, answer is... No, sorry. 2 is right, sorry. 2 is right, B gone. Okay? If you know only one, what happens? If you know only one, ki 1 is wrong, what happens? 1 gone, 2. If you know only 3, what happens? 3 hai. Okay? So you need to know 2 statements. So ye bhi book mein hai. It is there in the book, it is there in the book. Is this there in the book? This is there in the book. Is this there in the book? This is there in the book. Very static question. What is the final answer ultimately? C, 2 and 3. 1 is wrong because RBI manages state government also. Right? RBI is a banker to government, state or center. Dono. Answer is C. Did you understand this? Answer is C, 2 and 3. Treasury bills are issued at discount to fair value. Discount from par value, not fair value, par value. And treasury bills are issued by central government only and not state government, because state governments issue long-term instruments which are known as state development loans. Next. Back to basics. Read and think. क्या लगता है? What is legal tender money? We have discussed legal tender money. What is legal tender money? The money which is tendered in courts of law to defray the fee of legal cases. ये तो कुछ नहीं है. A gone. Metallic money in circulation. Only coins are legal tender. ये भी नहीं है. If you reach BNC, then still on a good track, right? Bank money in the form of checks, drafts, bills of exchange. So one interpretation you can take. I know the concept should be known beforehand. But one logic you might think ki legal tender means one which is legal or the payments are legal. So are check payment legal? Yes. Are bill of exchange legal? Yes. Are drafts legal? Yes. But the concept of legal tender money is not that it is legal or illegal. The concept is that the taker, the receiver of the money cannot refuse that money. The money which a creditor is under compulsion to accept in settlement of his claims. Simple example, you go to a pawn shop, you give him 20 rupees note. Can he refuse it unless it is stone or mutilated? वो छोड़ दो. That's a different case, because if it is stone, then it is not even money now, it is just note. It is not perfectly capable of circulating. If you give him 20 rupees note to a pawn shop, can he refuse that money? He cannot refuse that money. If he refuses, you can do a case on him because it is legal tender. If you give him a check of 20 rupees, what happens? He can refuse it. So check, even though it is an instrument which is recognized by law, is not legal tender. Right? Are you getting this? Money which the taker is not cannot refuse or is under the compulsion to accept, that is legal tender. So coins are legal tender up to certain extent. After a certain extent, you cannot pay in coins also. I mean, you can pay in coins. See, if he accepts checks, तो कोई बात ही नहीं है, कोई problem ही नहीं है. ठीक है? You want to pay by Paytm. He doesn't have Paytm. Can he refuse payment by Paytm? Yes, he can. He says, I don't accept Paytm. Paytm money is recognized by law. Yes, but is it legal tender? No. Simple. ठीक है? B. Next. Now, this was seen in news. Okay? When you swipe a POS machine, do you know what is a POS machine? वो card swipe करते हैं hotel में and anywhere you go in stores also. That is a POS machine, point of sale, because sale is registered there. So that machine is issued by banks to these shopkeepers, hotel vendors and all. Do you think bank will give them for free? Bank will charge them. So but shopkeeper says ki, but my business is not that much. Why are you charging me on a monthly basis? So bank says no problem. Per transaction we will charge 2%. If there is no transaction, no charges. If there are 1000 transactions, 1000 into 2%, जितना भी amount होगा, ठीक है? So that is called as merchant discount rate. Why this was in news? This was in news for a long time since demonetization. Because after demonetization, digital payments boosted, और digital payments में growth हुआ after demonetization. Everyone started using cards, ठीक है? Card use also increased. Paytm and also went up through the roof, but card use also increased. So these machines were more in demand than before, and banks had raised the MDR, merchant discount rate. So merchants were saying, please reduce, because customer is wanting to pay by card, he doesn't have cash, demonetization hai, and you are charging more. This was in news. This term was in news for a long time. ठीक है? So it is charged to a merchant by a bank for accepting payments from his customers through bank's debit cards. Is it okay? Read the other options and you will notice that they are very well crafted options. If you don't have any idea, you might be confused. And idea नहीं होगा तो you might be confused. Incentive given by bank to merchant for accepting payments. See, A and C are exactly opposite. A and C are exactly opposite and name says discount. तो आपको क्या लगता है incentive होगा? Are you noticing the way UPSC is being very cruel to us? Merchant discount rate, which means something discount is given. Incentive given by bank to merchant for accepting payments. What is C? Charge to a merchant by bank for accepting payments. It is a charge and not a discount. A and C, very confusing options. Samjha? Did you understand this? Answer is C. Next. Factual question. Apply your brain, apply your logic. क्या लगता है? See, IBA is an industry body. NSDL, if you don't know, find out about it. What is NSDL? It's a depository. We cover in markets chapter about it. It's a depository. Find out about it, because tomorrow question might come on NSDL. NPCI, it is the only body which has all the payment systems under its control. National Payment Corporation of India. RBI. NPCI is under control of RBI, but RBI is a central bank. So ATM is a part of payment system in our country. It is connected by NPCI. Now इसका आंसर you might not find in books. हाँ अभी you will find, but when the exam came there were no answer to this in books. This was common sense कि NPCI is Payments Corporation, it controls the payment systems. ATMs are part of payment systems, hence it is NPCI. What is this? I hope you know what is capital adequacy ratio. Some amount of capital has to be kept depending on the loans and advances, depending on the business of the bank. So it is the amount that banks have to maintain in the form of their own funds to offset any loss that banks incur if the account holders fail to repay their due. Okay? If the loans fail, NPAs happen, then this capital can be used to repay the depositors. Okay? It is not decided by each individual bank. It is decided by RBI, which is normally in consonance with BIS Basel norms given by Bank of International Settlement, BIS, yes or no? RBI refers to the BIS international norms which are accepted internationally or given globally. So individual bank is not deciding this. So what is the answer? A. Next, read this. (2014) ना ऐसे 10 minutes में it will be over. No questions. 10 questions. Hardly 10 questions. This was in news. Merger of SBI was in news. It was a big thing. Banking news was a big thing. It was in news. So don't worry about this. Second statement should be known that it is true. Right now, what about, so either both 1 and 2 or 2 only are the options. Now, what about the first one? Capital infusion has steadily increased in the last decade. One can think it is true because NPAs are also increasing. So government has to bail out public sector banks. ठीक है? Public sector banking के बारे में ही पूछा है, not about private banks, right? So capital infusion into public sector banks by the government has steadily increased in the last decade. It sounds true. Someone might think it is true because NPAs are also increasing in the last decade, but it is not. It is not steadily increasing. It is ऐसा graph. It is a random graph. ऊपर नीचे. It is a graph normal ups and downs वाला graph. It is not steadily increasing. Sir, how to know this? The only way to know this is, honestly speaking, editorials. Because this line, somewhere it would be mentioned in editorials. It is also given in budget, by the way. If you read the budget document, if you read the bare budget document, okay, I am saying bare budget because normally bare budget means these things are given. Not in the speech, but wherever the figures are given, उसमें दिया रहता है. Last year capital infusion was so much, before that it was so much, before that it was so much, and now it is so much. So at least उसमें भी if you find कि decrease हुआ है, at least even 1 year, then you will be able to answer this. So answer is B, 2 only. Very few answers happen ना कि जिसमें 2 only is the answer. Either neither होता है और both होता है और 1 only होता है. But B, 2 only. Read this. Try to solve this. क्या लगता है? Sounds difficult? No idea type question है ये. Rajasthan has highest percentage share of agricultural households among rural households. Possible? Out of total agricultural households in the country, little over 60% belong to OBCs. We don't know. In Kerala, little over 60% of agricultural households reported to have received maximum income from sources other than agri activities. Also possible, right? So we don't know. We have no idea. 2 only option भी है. 1 and 3 option is also there, right? If you absolutely have no idea, then I would suggest you leave this question. ठीक है? There is only one hint which can be gauged. Unless you know specifically. If you know specific something, then तो very good. OBC reserve कितना है हमारा? 27%. Based on total OBCs of 40 to 50%. Normally reservation is given to half. So agar some community is 20% of the population, reservation will be 10%. If OBC is 27%, which means community is 45, 50%, right? So 60% nahi ho sakta hai. But that is also, will you think this in the exam? It is very difficult to think, right? So if you don't know the answer, then please, you can skip this, right? If you mark 2 wrong, answer is 1 and 3 only. But to mark 2 wrong, you need a lot of focus, you need a lot of thinking, and you need a lot of belief that my logic is right. है ना? So answer is 1 and 3, but I would not say, sir, where to cover these questions from? There is no source. Even if it is given in survey somewhere in corner, you will not remember it. There is no source for these. So this is the last question you should even think of attempting. If you know it, then attempt, no doubt. If you don't know it, then please keep it for the end. कि अगर नहीं हो रहा है, 80 attempt नहीं हो रहा है, 85 attempt नहीं हो रहा है, then you have to attempt. Otherwise, already 88, 89, 90 you have attempted, then this is remaining, then don't attempt. Why to take a risk? ठीक है? Next. Have we done National Food Security Act? NFSA? Read this. ठीक है, चलो. The families under the category of BPL only are eligible to receive subsidized food grains. What is the eligibility of NFSA? We had discussed this. 75% of rural population and 50% of urban population is the eligibility. Do you think all of them are BPL? No. So first statement is wrong. Basic, huh? First statement is wrong. One gone, one gone. Either 2, either 3. Good thing is because you have to choose between one. ऐसा दोनों 2 and 3 only नहीं दिया. Then that is very confusing. ठीक है? Eldest woman in a household of age 18 years of above shall be the head of the household for the purpose of issuance of ration card. Okay, possible. Pregnant women and lactating mothers are entitled to take home ration of 1600 calories per day during pregnancy and for 6 months thereafter. Possible. The fact of the matter is, this is absolutely true. This is absolutely true. If this is true, then this becomes false. Right? So actually, pregnant women are allowed 600 calories take away ration, not 1600. But even if you don't know this, eldest woman in a household of age 18 years of above shall be the head of household for the purpose of issuance of ration card. Very possible. Okay? So either 2 and 3 may you have to take a guess now. Okay? When you take a guess between 2 and 3, what happens? Either you get 2 right or 3 right. But what is the probability of getting this right compared to this? This sounds more positive. This sounds more better. So take a guess and mark 2. 2 only. Take a guess and mark 2. See, we might not know. And I am telling you all this based on the fact that I am assuming you don't know the exact thing. If you opened NFSA Act and if you have seen this already, then you know the answer. कि ये 1600 नहीं 600 है. But this is also a very good indicator that it is a positive question, a positive statement. The eldest woman in a household of age 18 years or above shall be the head of the household for the purpose of issue of ration card. Yes or no? ठीक है? So you have to choose between one of them. Either 2 only है या 3 only है. So rather than going with this, better go with this because this is more positive statement, and it makes sense also to give ration card in women's name, household, and 18 years of above obviously. So probability of this being more, this being right is more compared to this. So answer is B2 only. Next, what is the answer? One is right. I hope you know what is BHIM app, Bharat Interface for Money. It started UPI in India, na? It was the first app to start UPI. With a chip in debit card has 4 factors of authentication. BHIM only has 2 factors of authentication. ऐसा नहीं है. BHIM has 3 factors of authentication. One is that it gets registered with your bank account. Second is that it registered to your device, because if you change the mobile, you will have to do the verification again. Third is your password and all those things. Right? Answer is A. Second is wrong. Next. वापस आएगा ये? This is also again long question, big long question. Read this. Conservation agriculture. Conservation agriculture, you will read about it in geography and environment. Conservation means you have to conserve the water, conserve the soil, you have to do everything to minimize the disturbance. So adopting minimum tillage is definitely one of the very defining features of conservation agriculture. ठीक है? So ये पता है 2. 2 is here, 2 is here, 2 is here. 2 के साथ 5 by default becomes correct, 4 by default नहीं, 4 यहाँ नहीं है. So 2 के साथ 5 by default becomes correct. So 5 you don't have to see. Right? Now coming to 3 and 4. What do you think is much better, avoiding the cultivation of plantation crops or using crop residues to cover soil surface? Conservation के लिए which is better? Cover, residues to cover, moisture is preserved, right? Moisture is preserved, conservation agriculture. So 4 is there, 2 is there. क्या बचता है? 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more layer. You have to do one more round, yes or no? Otherwise option would have come. 3, क्या लगता है? Is avoiding plantation crops helping in conserving agriculture, yes or no? Avoiding plantation crops, is avoiding plantation crops helping in conserving agriculture? The answer is no, it does not. Conservation agriculture is an agricultural technique irrespective of plantation ho, plantation nahi ho. It is the technique of tilling, not tilling soil, irrigation minimum, soil moisture preserve करो, वो सब है. That is conservation agriculture. ठीक है? Answer is C, 2, 4, 5. ठीक है? Is that understood? Now, honestly, even if we mark B 2, 3, 4, 5, ठीक है. I mean, in the exam pressure and in the time period, इतने time में we can't be sure कि what we are marking is right. And this is that luck वाला question कि UPSC might think कि B is right तो B दे देगा. UPSC might think C is right तो C दे देगा. Right? So, but if you reach B and C, very good. That is the purpose here. That is the objective, to reach B and C. That is ability building. If you don't reach B and C, then that's a problem. When you don't reach B and C. Okay? So we'll move ahead. This was a pure agri question. We'll move ahead. Next, GM mustard. Very hot topic currently. Not now, but when the exam was there. 2018 mein very hot topic. GM mustard, genetically modified mustard. GM mustard has the genes of a soil bacterium that give the plant the property of pest resistance to a wide variety of pests. Okay. GM mustard has the genes that allow the plant cross-pollination and hybridization. See, this is a science and tech question, actually biotechnology. This is a science and tech question. By mistake, it has come here. But okay, we'll try. GM mustard has been developed jointly by the IARI and PAU, Punjab Agricultural University. The way I solved it, I will be very honest with you, I knew it was Delhi University and not Punjab University. Very factual information, but I knew Delhi University is making GM mustard. Once I knew 3 is wrong, 3 wrong, 3 wrong, 3 wrong, answer is 2 only. I got to the answer that way. You can reach the answer in any way. If you know pest resistance to a wide variety of pests, agar hai usko ya nahi hai, if you know that, then you can play on one also. Allow the plant cross-pollination, hybridization. This is the main objective of, or the main purpose behind GM mustard. So if you know that, still you will be stuck with B, C and D. Right? One thing very important, I knew that Punjab University is not making, Delhi University is making. So Delhi University mein aake 3 cancel, 3 cancel, 3 cancel, answer is 2 only. Whatever is your way, you should solve. Either use factual information or use analytical information, but arrive at the answer. If you know one is not the right answer, if you know that, so 1 gone, 2 by default becomes correct, still you have to know 3 hai ya nahi. So there is no escaping 3 here. And this is purely factual. Purely factual. You cannot take a guess कि Punjab होगा, Delhi होगा और कौन होगा. You cannot take a guess. You have to know it. If you reach B and C, and if you reach C, still thoda chalega. Because you have reached B and C. The objective here is skill development in solving MCQ. See, because these questions are not going to be repeated. They might be, but very slim chance. New questions will come, new style will come, new style of statements, new style of options will come. So the task is to reach 2 first and then mark. Even if out of these tukkas 50% go right, 50% go wrong, still net positive, you are in net positive only marks mein, because you get 2 marks and minus 0.66 hota hai. So net positive increment hi hota hai. But the task is to reach these 2. Then your probability of getting right one increases to 50%. Na? If you don't reach these 2, then it is only 25%, which is a very bad probability. Okay? So the answer is B2 only. Next. The way they ask trends and stats is sometimes frustrating. Yes or no? Sometimes they ask these trends and all of, this stats and all. With reference to solar power production in India, consider the following statements. India is the 3rd largest in the world in the manufacture of silicon wafers used in photovoltaic units. If this was the case, we wouldn't have imported Chinese and USA ka raw material or Chinese wafers or USA wafers. The solar power tariffs are determined by the Solar Energy Corporation of India. Solar tariffs are determined by auction basis. They are not determined by SECI. They are determined on an auction basis, not by SECI. Okay, Solar Energy Corporation of India. Sir, how do you know this? Newspapers. This might not be there. This is a logical one. If we are 3rd largest, we don't have to import all these things, right? But ठीक है, चलो, first keep it aside for now. Solar power tariffs are determined by the Solar Energy Corporation of India. No, they are based on auction, and this has been in news, or this was in news, and this question came because solar power prices, solar auction prices reached new lows, new lows, right? So second is wrong. When second goes wrong, B and C go, A and D remain. Now you have to take a guess कि 3rd largest hai, so why are we importing so much? Yeah, maybe we are going for International Solar Alliance, we are increasing our capacity, maybe we are 3rd largest. We aspire to be, we are not now. Okay? So the answer is D, neither 1 nor 2. D bhi answer hota hai, neither 1 nor 2 is also the answer. Answer is D, neither 1 nor 2. But the thing is, In exam, again it is very difficult to mark. So you might mark A, you might mark D, 50-50 chance. But I would suggest think on these lines ki, so how would you know that we are importing so much of things and USA say and China say newspaper and current affairs. So see, it is not I read this year, I applied this year, not like Punjab University. उसमें वैसा था, I read this Delhi University, applied Delhi University, right answer. इसमें it is some correlation which might go wrong in various questions as well. होता है वो, it is a fact. It is there for everyone. The one who is getting even 150 marks in prelims, he also applies the same logic कि होगा नहीं होगा, but mark तो करना है. You have to mark. ठीक है? Answer is D, neither 1 nor 2. प्रधानमंत्री कौशल विकास योजना, इट्स अ स्कीम, यहाँ आ गया है बट ठीक है. कौशल विकास योजना, always when doing the schemes you should know which ministry is giving or which ministry is doing what or which ministry is enacting which scheme. You have to know that compulsorily. So Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, it is the flagship scheme of the Ministry of Labour and Employment. No, it is not. It is the flagship scheme of Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. पता होता है, इतना तो पता होना चाहिए. So when one goes, 2 by default becomes correct. You don't need to worry about 2. And 2 is anyways generally good statement. It is a generic good statement. It among other things will also impact training in soft skills, entrepreneurship, financial and digital literacy. हो सकता है ना, obviously skill development है. Kaushal Vikas. What about the third one? It aims to align the competencies of the unregulated workforce of the countries to the National Skill Qualification Framework. Yes, you should know this. And थोड़ा challenging है to know all these things. But ये पता होगा तो better रहता है. ठीक है? So see, it aims to align the competencies of unregulated workforce, those who are self-trained and skill, carpentry and all, those are self-trained, generation to generation, or they learn from their friends or uncles or and all. But we have a national skill qualification framework. We have a framework for vocational skills, technical skills and other types of skills. So we have a framework. So the aim of this scheme is to train them formally so that they fit into this framework. Okay, that is the aim. So answer is C, 2 and 3. But yes, you should know this. पता होना चाहिए आपको. You should know this. Can we solve it in some other manner? C, can we arrive at C in some other manner? If you know 3, then what happens? 3, 3, 3. No. If you know 2, 2, 2, 2. No. So you have to know 1. 1 is very important because 2 options get eliminated when you know that 1 is not the right one. 2 by default becomes correct. You only have to think about 3 then. ठीक है? This is C, 2 and 3. What about this? MSP. See the statement here. You should know the question also very well. Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs has announced the MSP. Sir, then what about CACP? Commission on Agricultural Costs and Prices, CACP. They recommend, they calculate. Cost was निकालते हैं, they recommend. Final announcement, final decision is done by Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. Might be asked in future questions. Might be, we don't know. So take from UPSC what you are getting and give it to them. In mains also, give it back to them. Same statements. Use their own knowledge, use their own data and give it back to them in prelims. I hope you know what is the purpose of MSP, to encourage farmers to grow bindas so that when markets go down, government is there to save. Normally MSP is not given for crops like tea, coffee because they are not grown everywhere throughout India. ठीक है? Other crops are thoda तो they are grown throughout India. There are big belts of these crops, yes, but tea, coffee and all of those crops, they are not grown throughout India. Plus, tea, coffee are considered to be a little bit not food stuff in nature. They are beverages and they are exported also. So they don't need government support utna zyada in the form of MSP. They need government support in the form of labor law regulations and all other things, minimum wages and everything. But they don't need government support for MSP times. And MSP is declared for 23 crops. technically it is 25 but officially 23 crops because there are variants of some crops, उसके अलग अलग नाम है. So 23 crops के लिए है, there are different classes, cereals के लिए है, pulses के लिए है, then there is oil seeds are there, सब अलग अलग है, 23 है, right? Coffee is not one of them. Coffee is not one of them. The easiest way to solve the question is, you should know coffee is not one of them. When coffee is not one of them, 3 goes, 3 goes, 3 goes, answer is 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. What is areca nut? Areca nut is supari, right? Supari. Supari is normally considered to be to have an ill effect on your health. Tobacco, supari, alcohol, all of those things. So, are you encouraging growing of areca nut or you are discouraging? You are not encouraging for sure. So, MSP might not be given for areca nut. So, if you eliminate areca nut, what happens? 1 gone, 1 gone, 1 gone, 2, 4, 5, 6. ठीक है, समझा? Same goes for turmeric also, but if you eliminate turmeric, you still remain with 2 options. Turmeric is a spice, तो उसके लिए भी most of it is exported and also उसके लिए भी we don't announce MSP. Are you getting this? So 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5, 6. 2, 4, 5, 6. For all of them we have. For areca nut, why? Because not so good health wise. Coffee, definitely not. Because not grown everywhere also, and plus utna support in the form of MSP not required. Organic farming. What about organic farming? What about organic farming? National Program for Organic Production is operated under the guidelines and directions of Union Ministry of Rural Development. APEDA functions as secretariat for the implementations of NPOP. Sikkim has become India's first fully organic state. Now this is the major current affair you should hang on to, the third statement. ये तो पता होना ही चाहिए, this should be known, this is the major current affairs you should know. Third one. Okay? But third one, so only 1 is eliminated, 2 and 3, 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. So now this is a multi-layer question because 2 bhi hai and plus even if you arrive at 2, 1, 2 and 3 is also there. And these are factual nature. This is not something which can be analyzed or taken a guess. I mean, guess laga ke you can arrive at it if it is right, but if it is wrong, you will say, "Arey, your guess was wrong." So these are factual things. But yes, one more thing, APEDA, you should know about APEDA. That is given in books. You should know about APEDA. APEDA functions under the control of Ministry of Commerce and Industry. And if APEDA is the secretariat for the implementation of NPOP, this scheme cannot be under Ministry of Rural Development. It has to be under Ministry of Commerce and Industry. I am just giving you one strand to think. APEDA functions as a secretariat for implementation of NPOP, but APEDA is under Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So, Ministry of Commerce and Industry must be the authority for NPOP. If that is the case, then 1 is wrong, 2 and 3 are right. If both are wrong, then 3 only bhi ho sakta hai. Is it possible ki 2 is wrong, 1 is right? 2 is wrong and 1 is right? That is not possible. So, 3 only can be done. So, either both of them are wrong or this is wrong. This is wrong and this is right. That is possible. So, either 2 and 3, 3 only. 1, 2, 3 cannot coexist together. So, you arrived at B and C, barely you arrived at B and C, some scrap of logic, right? And then you have to close your eyes and mark. Honestly, if you know, then best. I always say, if you know it, then to koi problem hi nahi hai. But we are assuming you don't know it. And whatever is there conceptual which is asked, I say that you have to know this, there is no alternative to that, right? Banking, we will see 17, 16, 15, 14 year questions, 2017 or 17 meaning 16, 15, 14. Very easy, simple questions. You have to know them. But these questions we might not know. You might know, might not know. You might have read about it in schemes compilation before prelims, while preparing schemes and all. You might have heard or read about it. Yeah, you might be able to solve. But since you arrived at 2 and 3 only and 3 only, B and C, then how? How to proceed further? Jai Mata Di, mark. So the answer is 2 and 3 only. Assuming this is correct and this is wrong, answer, if you mark 2 and 3 only, that is the right answer. Okay, B is the right answer, 2 and 3. 2017, the year when things started getting weird, the year when the questions started getting weird, not only in economics but entire paper. Okay, 2017 is the year.